Here's what to know about movies coming out this month. Welcome to Movies Ahead. The first movie releasing in July actually released on a Wednesday on its own special release date, and it is Minions and Monsters, which is the third Minions movie and the seventh movie in the Despicable Me universe. Pierre Coffin, the co-writer and director, has directed 6 of those 7 movies, and he's also the voice actor behind the Minions themselves. This one takes place in 1927 as the Minions try to make a monster movie in the era of classic Hollywood by summoning an actual monster.
I know the perfect monster for your movie.
Then on the actual weekend, starting July 3rd, we also have Young Washington, which depicts George Washington before the American Revolution, when he was still a commanding officer fighting in parts of the 7 Years' War.
Because you are not British, George.
The director previously did I Can Only Imagine and Jesus Revolution. For the weekend of July 10th, we've got 4 new movies. Evil Dead Burn is the 6th film in the Evil Dead franchise that started way back in 1981 with Sam Raimi's The Evil Dead. The series went through a soft reboot in 2013 with Fede Alvarez's Evil Dead, which also resulted in a tonal switch for the series. The original movies lean more towards campy horror comedy, and the newer ones are more strictly horror. Either way, you don't really need to know much because the movies are largely standalone stories that are set in the same universe. One where people get turned into demonic creatures known as Deadites.
My grandfather believed the devil would return.
Gail Daughtry and the Celebrity Pass is a comedy from the director who's known for Miracle Workers and Wet Hot American Summer. It tells the story of a couple that jokes about what celebrity they would allow each other to sleep with. When Tom actually manages to cash in his one free pass by actually hooking up with a celebrity, Gail decides to travel to Hollywood to get even with him.
We're here to see John Hamm.
Do you have an appointment?
No, but I'm John.
Flattery. Y'all have a good day.
No, wait, come back.
Wait, ow! Ow!
Moana is Disney's latest live-action remake, but this one is a bit unusual since the original movie only came out 10 years ago and the sequel just 2 years ago. Some of the same screenwriters have returned from the original movie, and it also has Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson returning in his role as Maui.
Maui, demigod of the wind and sea.
Hero of men.
The Invite is the newest movie directed by Olivia Wilde, who you might know as an actress, but has also become known for directing movies like Booksmart and Don't Worry Darling. This movie is actually an English remake of a Spanish film called The People Upstairs. It's a comedy about a married couple struggling in their relationship, but when they invite their upstairs neighbors over for a dinner party, things take an interesting turn.
We feel a very strong connection with you guys.
And for the weekend of July 17th, we've just got one movie, but it's a big one. The Odyssey is the hugely anticipated epic fantasy movie from Christopher Nolan, who, as you probably know, is known for movies like Oppenheimer, Interstellar, The Dark Knight, and many more. This movie is an adaptation of the famous ancient Greek story attributed to Homer, which tells the story of the king of Ithaca, Odysseus, as he tries to return home after the end of the Trojan War. Nolan is known for using practical effects and real locations as much as possible. He also has been a big supporter of the IMAX format, and this will be the first commercial film to be entirely shot in IMAX.
Who doesn't understand pain?
On to the weekend of July 24th, we've got 2 more movies. Her Private Hell is a sci-fi thriller that also leans into a cyberpunk aesthetic. The plot has mostly been kept secret, but it follows parallel stories of 2 characters searching for someone they love.
There's been another victim of the Leather Man.
Is he a ghost?
It stars Sophie Thatcher and Charles Melton, and the director is known for movies like The Neon Demon and Drive. Pinocchio Unstrung is the latest movie in the Twisted Childhood universe. These are a series of independently produced horror movies that adapt famous characters from children's stories that have entered the public domain and turns them into slasher villains. Past movies include Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and Bambi: The Reckoning. The director of this movie has worked on all the past movies in the universe, so you can expect a very similar tone. And on to our final weekend of the month. Spider-Man Brand New Day is the 4th Spider-Man movie since the character joined the MCU 10 years ago in 2016's Captain America: Civil War. This is intended to directly follow the events of No Way Home, so Peter Parker will be dealing with the fallout of the decision he had to make at the end of that movie to try and save his reality. The director joined the MCU when he did Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. The same writers that have worked on all the MCU Spider-Man movies have returned for this movie as well.
No matter how powerful we've become.
And our final movie is I Want Your... This is a comedy about a man named Elliot who applies for a job working for a famous provocative artist named Erica Tracy. It turns out that job is as her muse and is very erotic in nature.
Oh, don't walk. I'd really prefer if you crawled.
The co-writer and director has mostly worked on TV series such as Monster and 13 Reasons Why. And that wraps up our movies this month. Which movies are you looking forward to? Let me know.